Aubrey, do you often talk about clothes and fashion?
I don't actually. I care very little for clothing, much less than the average person, let alone woman. Yeah, I just don't really care. What about you, Jessica?
Not really, no.
Not
Um,
really.
but guys, even if you don't regularly discuss clothing and fashion, you might be asked about it on IELTS. So today we are going to do some sample part one answers about clothes. And stay until the end, guys, because we saved the hardest question for last. I'll give you a little hint, everyone. The word smart has another meaning you might not know. Let's just say that. So stay until the end to find out what the heck I'm talking about. Aubrey, we're doing a sort of a sister episode to this on All Ears English next week.
Yes, this is really exciting. Jessica and I will be on the All Ears English podcast talking about how 90s fashions have come back, right?
Yes.
90s clothes are back, baby, is the title, which is such a fun title. We want to make sure you guys don't miss that episode. There's going to be a lot of great vocab, a really interesting discussion that could actually help you with IELTS questions about clothing and fashion trends.
100%. So mark your calendars, guys. It's next week, October 10th. Aubrey and I will be on the All Ears English podcast. And it was episode 2285. 90s clothes are back, baby. So listen to
Nice.
us next week for more, sample conversation about clothing. There was also a recent All Ears English episode that would be helpful here. Aubrey, what one was that?
Yes, this was episode 2261. Michelle and Lindsay shared some great phrases for talking about your life in the past, in
Yeah.
my former life, in a past life. These would be so great for IELTS questions as well. So be sure to be following the All Ears English podcast, first of all, so you don't miss great episodes like that. Go check that one out as well. 2261, in my former life, how to share who you used to be in English.
Such good vocab for IELTS, you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure to hit follow right now so you never miss another episode of IELTS Energy. And let's get to these sample questions. Aubrey and I are just going to go back and forth, taking turns asking and answering, and we will highlight the amazing stuff that comes out of each spontaneous answer, just like you guys have to do on the exam, right? No planning in part one. We are just doing our best on the spot. All right. Aubrey, I'm going to ask you first. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Um, do you often buy clothes?
Oh, not nearly often enough. My husband, he has a bone to pick with me quite often about how long I'll keep clothing. They're like ratty, worn out. I've had them forever. He might be a little embarrassed of me, truth be told. Because I just hate shopping so much. I hate spending money on clothing. There are so many better things to spend money on. So I will wear something ragged till it is ratty and falling apart and threadbare before I have,
Thank
rather than
you.
buy new clothing.
Thank you. I do the same thing, by the way. I am
No shame.
I can't tell you how often I've showed up to something like I mean it's Portland, it doesn't matter, nobody cares, but I'll show up to a soccer game or, something. And I'll look down and I'll see like I have a hole in my pants or like I have a
Happens to me all
stain
the time.
somewhere.
Yeah, I
All
have
right.
a stack of clothing near my sewing machine of like things to mend that I
Yeah.
never get to because they're just like worn out. I just need to throw them away, donate them, fabric recycling. Nobody wants this.
I know. I think about that. I was like, I'm not even bringing this to
No,
Goodwill.
no, right.
All right. So, a couple amazing things Aubrey did in that answer. Remember to let your personality come through. Did you hear how Aubrey started her answer? It was a guttural sound. It was not even a word, right? I said, "Do you often buy clothes?" And Aubrey was like, "Ugh." I mean, that
Uh,
guys, that is part of fluency and communication. Stand out, be yourself, communicate like a human. So, that was awesome. And then amazing vocabulary. My husband has a bone to pick with me. So, a bone to pick with someone is like, this is something I don't like and I will argue with you about it, kind of thing, right? This is an issue
mhm.
that I need to discuss with you. I have a bone to pick with you. And then adjectives for worn out clothes. So worn out means, it's old, it's faded. You have worn it a lot. It is worn out. It is ratty if there's like threads coming out, maybe some holes, like it just looks old. And then ragged, same thing as ratty in this context, right? Um, and then threadbare is like it's barely holding on.
It's
You know
very
how you have
extreme.
these like favorite t-shirts that you can see through parts of it, right? Cuz like it's been washed so many times. So that's threadbare. Great vocab.
I love that. Yes, and definitely a lot of exaggeration there,
Yeah.
right? I'm probably not
Yeah,
really wearing see-through threadbare clothing, but it's fun
exactly.
to use hyperbole and to exaggerate, right? So
Exactly.
good. All right,
All
ready
right.
for your question, Jessica?
Yes.
Okay. Are clothes important to you?
Yeah, yes and no, I guess. I I loathe spending a lot of money on clothes because it is a waste of money. I want to, I would rather buy some amazing tacos than, a new pair of shoes or something. Um, but I do care about what I choose to wear, and I definitely have a style. So, I guess they are kind of important, because everybody wants to look good. I'm not just going to throw on something if I think it makes me look awful, because then I won't feel good about myself, honestly. I'll see myself in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, why did you wear that gross, boxy sweater? So, I mean, yes, they're important to me. I do care about what I look like, but I don't spend a lot of money on it.
Oh, so good. Oh, I'm excited to highlight all this amazing vocab. But first, just the way Jessica started this to say like yes and no, I guess, because a lot of questions you'll be asked, that will be the answer. Like, well, yes and no. Like, I have reasons to say yes and reasons to say no. And then the verb loathe is so good. If you find yourself about to say hate, dislike, instead use this band nine verb. I loathe spending money on clothing. So much
Mhm.
better. And then this really good construction that would be amazing on any IELTS answer to say, I would rather blank than do this, right? She says,
Mm.
I would much rather buy tacos than spend money on clothing. But you can see how that chunk could be used to answer any IELTS question. If you're saying something you don't want to do, I would rather anything. I would rather go
Mhm.
swimming than this, right? Imagine practice completing that blank to use this on any question. And then I love what you did when you were saying, I would look at myself in the mirror and say, why did you wear that boxy sweater? Like, this is so good to, it's like you're asking yourself a question in the mirror. Such fun intonation, such a fun native natural thing to do. I don't know if I've ever heard a student do this. You guys should be doing this on IELTS. It's amazing. And then
Totally.
that adjective, boxy, is such a great way to describe clothing that's not fitted. Imagine like a box, like you put it on and you look like a
Yeah.
box. This is such a great adjective for clothing that is not very flattering.
Mhm. All right, Aubrey, let's get back to the questions. I have one for you here. What kinds of clothes do you prefer to wear?
Anything comfortable. Comfort is king for me when it comes to clothing. I do not like dresses. I do not like fitted clothing. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts or jeans all the time. Even jeans anymore. I'm like, these are not the most comfortable thing I could wear. So I'm trying to avoid sweats, but like cute shorts that are, a linen or some other soft fabric, but not Levi's, not jeans, are my preference these days because I'm just trying to be comfortable.
Thank you. That was a good length too. Like I didn't have
Okay.
to cut you off. That was perfect. I want to focus on one structure that you guys could take away from this. Aubrey said, "Comfort is king when it comes to
Mm,
clothing in this case." So, you can use this structure in so many ways, right? You could say like beauty is king when it comes to the artwork I
mm.
choose, or
Flavor is king when it comes to the
yeah,
food I wanna eat. Yes.
spice is king when I'm choosing restaurants, right?
Yes.
So it's a fantastic idiom, like something is king, but then it has this high level grammar structure when it comes to noun. So, oh, write that one down, guys. That was awesome. Okay, one more for me.
Okay, here we go. This is our last or no, you're gonna give me one more, right? So one
Yep.
more for Jessica, and then I get the difficult one.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Do you spend a lot of time deciding what to wear?
No, definitely not. I kind of recycle like the same 5 things. Like there's like 4 tank tops that I wear all the time. There's 3 pair of shorts that I love, and I just only wear these things. I end up doing laundry often because there's only so many clothes that I want to wear, but I know exactly what I like to wear and what looks good together and what I'm comfortable in, right? And so I just know, okay, I'm going to grab this black tank top, these cut off denim shorts, boom, done. So I spend very little time thinking about my outfits.
Awesome. We're so alike, Jessica.
We
It would
are.
be interesting. You guys might be getting more variety of answers if different people were answering these questions that are
I
like
know, right?
high fashion and so interested in clothing.
I could pretend. I could make up like an answer where I spend a lot of time. No.
Right? I'm going to try that on this last one, you guys. I am going to role play a wealthy woman who likes to
Nice.
spend a lot of money on clothing in case that's you out there listening and you want to know what you would say. So I'm ready for this
I
last
love it.
question. I'm
Okay.
I'm not myself for this one.
So I'm going to explain this first real fast because this is the question that we would see being the most difficult for students, especially if you're not used to British English. So this last question is, do you prefer wearing smart or casual clothes? So smart is a very British adjective. I don't hear any Americans unless they're over, 75 saying this for some reason. So smart is like, sort of posh, more formal clothes. Okay. So smart and casual are opposites. All right, here we go. Aubrey, do you prefer wearing smart or casual clothes?
Without a doubt, I prefer smart clothing. I love to wear something very posh, elegant. I love going to formal events with a floor length cocktail gown. And when the fabric is really shimmery, like sequins or satin or silk, I just feel really elegant and beautiful. I think I feel prettier when I'm
Okay,
dressed up
thank you.
nice. Does it sound like I'm making it up?
No, it's
Oh,
just
good.
I'm trying. Okay, that was a great
You
answer.
couldn't help but
So much
laugh because
great
it's so
vocab.
not me.
Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, I was cracking up the entire time because it is just so the opposite of Aubrey.
It's
Just
funny.
just picturing you like
Wearing a floor-length
only wearing
shimmery
like
gown,
exactly that being like your main go-to. Like, oh, I can't wait to get dressed up in my ball gown tonight.
right? Even if I'm going to the grocery store, I wear a
Right.
nice cocktail dress
Oh man, that was
and
awesome. Okay.
heels.
Awesome answer, awesome vocab. I'm glad that you pretended to be on the other side so we get some different vocab. Elegant is a lovely adjective. Elegant
Mm,
is it's beautiful and graceful, right?
mm,
Beautiful and graceful. So it's not going to be anything very revealing, right? It's going
right.
to be on the more conservative side of a style. But I picture like a flowing gown, like you said, silk
Mhm,
and satin, right? So that was awesome and very specifically descriptive about these clothes, right? Floor length. I think you said floor length cocktail dress and it's shimmering, right? So, guys, that was a great example of bringing in as many specific adjectives as you can for any of these answers. And if you're asked about clothes, that's a no brainer. I mean, there are so many adjectives that you've heard today on the show that you can use in these answers.
yes, absolutely. And you can really see how you need to practice talking about clothing in advance. Because if you have a speaking partner and you're chatting in English, or like if you travel and you spark up a conversation with someone, it's never about clothing. It's rare
I
that we
know.
chat about clothing. And then you might get IELTS speaking questions about it. So you need to ready, you need be ready. You've got to practice these in advance.
Definitely, definitely. Also, in advance of taking your IELTS exam, you can get your free estimated band score right now. Go to allearsenglish.com/my score. Take that free quiz. And guys, make sure to hit follow right now so you don't miss any other amazing episodes from us.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessica. It's really fun chatting about clothing with you. We both care so
Surprisingly,
much about clothing.
I know. That's awesome. All right. Thanks, Aubrey. Bye.
Awesome. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.